Whereas, on April 22, 1889, the first land run of Oklahoma opened the unassigned lands for settlement, paving the way for the creation of Guthrie and of Oklahoma. And whereas, over 10,000 people participated in this land run and filed their claims of land at the land office in Guthrie, Oklahoma. And whereas, the federal government recognizes the site of the original land office as a historic site. And whereas, unofficial park ranger Stacey Frazier has researched and presented the story of this site to countless visitors. And whereas, to honor and recognize the importance of this site to the history and formation of Guthrie and to help draw additional recognition to the area, the students and instructors, Guthrie Job Corps, artists of RedNeck Metal Arts and Design, and staff of the City of Guthrie have designed, created, and installed this monument. And whereas, the City of Guthrie recognizes and honors the efforts of the Job Corps students and instructors to beautify and highlight this area of historic downtown. Now, therefore, I, Ed Wood, Vice Mayor of Guthrie, Oklahoma, do hereby proclaim this week of May 8th through the 12th, 2017 as Guthrie Smallish National Park Week, and urge the residents of Guthrie to enjoy the unique history of this, our beautiful city. Thank you all. You all did great. It looks really good.
This is just kind of the coolest thing ever. It has taken on such a life of its own. And I just wanted to share a little story with you about how that has transpired. When I started doing Guthrie Ghost Walks almost 5 years ago, this was one of the stops that we always would make. We would stop. It was kind of a transition point, and it was a neat way for me to bring in the history of Guthrie from the various early points. And I didn't realize just how closely people were listening. And they were listening, and not only did they listen, but they shared. And something that I've realized over about the last year is, as I'm doing the different routes, because we have all different places we go downtown, but I noticed that as I'm coming past this point now, that people who have been on the walk with me before, back when we would stop and we would talk about this tree, and we would talk about it being the first historic marker for the original land office, the land deed office, that I don't have to share the story anymore. The people who are on my walks share it with the other people. We'll be either coming this direction and they'll say, tell them about the park, tell them about the park. Well, it really was tell them about the park. Okay, we're going to talk about the park. But I've realized that not only do they talk about the park, but they were actually really listening, because they'll say, yeah, this is the smallest national park. Okay, yeah, it's a technicality, and then they will go on and they will talk about how the post office was started by a gentleman who just took it upon himself, and how that all of the people that came here to file their land claims had to meet over here and file their claims, and they'll talk about how busy it was, and then they'll talk about how the post office went in and town went in. They'll talk about when they tore down City Hall and in the 70s, and that was when the town decided they needed to reclaim the historicness that was this, and they'll talk about the preservation details. And without even realizing it, they have become part of my story because they were listening. And if they listen, they learn. And as far as I'm concerned, this is not just a monument for the park. This is a monument for the history of Guthrie and for the continued sharing of that history. Because people do listen and people do learn. And what this does, this is a talking point. This is going to be one of those places that the story is out there enough now. The story of how it was mismarked and they were supposed to make it, 100 foot square, and they made it 100 square feet, and that's bad math. Really bad math. But it's such a neat thing, and I am so honored to be associated with this in any way, shape, or form, because what it does is it continues the legacy that is Guthrie, and it continues the stories that are Guthrie. And I'm telling you, there are people that come from all over the United States to visit this town, and it's absolutely silly how many people will go, where's that park? Can I see the park? Sure, come on, let's go take a look. So you guys that have done this is such a beautiful thing.